For those of you who don't know me, my name is Destinee Milian. I'm a model. I was born and raised in Portland, Oregon, and I recently relocated to Miami, Florida. Down here, got like LeBron, did my South Beach trade, and life is great, and I'm really blessed. However, there's a very important, sensitive subject that I would like to address with my Facebook friends, Twitter friends, and the folks over at Star Force Hip Hop. This message that I'm going to give is so important to me and to a lot of parents and a lot of children and schools all over the world that I didn't have time to meet up with a videographer and get the right lighting and do all that extra stuff for a public service announcement. So I decided I have the tools at home on my camera. So I am giving this message via my webcam because it's so important that I don't want to wait another second without saying what I have to say. This message is also so important that I had to write some stuff down on a sheet of paper so that I don't forget the importance of this message and so that I can stress to you guys how important what I'm getting ready to say is. So, let me start by saying, give or take, about 2,000 kids, ages 9 to 17, attempt to commit suicide every year in just the United States. That's give or take. Roughly about 2,000 kids, ages 9 through 17, attempt to end their lives. Half of those end in fatalities. And we're just talking the United States. I'm sure this problem is happening globally, internationally. This is a huge problem that I'm sure is happening in middle schools, elementary schools, and high schools all over the world. I think as we grow up and we're no longer in school, we don't pay attention to what's going on with our youth. We tend to forget about those problems. We tend to forget what it was like to be these 9 to 17-year-old individuals going through school, wanting so hard to be accepted. Now, the reason for those 2,000, give or take, kids that attempt to commit suicide, specifically in what I'm speaking on, is what we call cyberbullying. And oftentimes regular bullying ties into this as well. But more specifically, cyberbullying. And I feel I can relate to this subject because growing up, I was cyberbullied, like non-stop. I still get cyberbullied, but I'm so comfortable and confident in the skin that I am in, and I'm happy to be who I am, and I'm happy to be where I'm going, that I can ignore those things. I've matured so much not to let any other human being bring me down. I fear no human being whatsoever. You're not God. I don't fear you. However, getting the mentality that I have now to be able to just brush stuff off of my shoulder like that, it came with time, and it came with experience, and it came with torture as well, and just learning and being strong and having my mom and my dad and my sister there to support me every step of the way. But kids ages 9 through 17, one, not all of them have the family support and foundation to deal with being cyberbullied or being bullied at school. And two, their brains aren't mentally developed fully yet to turn off emotions and to be mature enough to handle such harsh situations. Now, cyberbullying is when an individual is being attacked through social networks, through email, instant messaging, by usually anonymous sources that they know personally, usually students at school, harassing them, emailing them things like, you should kill yourself, the world would be better without you, you're nothing, nobody loves you, nobody cares about you, we all hate you, things like that. And to adults, we might be like, oh, those are just words, but we have to think like a child for a second. And as a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, however young they are, getting messages from people constantly, every time they sign online, telling them that they're useless and that they should end their lives, that'd be really hard to read. I've read them. I've had some very vulgar messages sent to my Facebook. So I can just imagine what these kids are going through. And my heart really goes out to them. One thing I want to say is that to the victims, if you're getting these messages, I know it's easier said than done, but ignore them. Don't let them bring you down to the point where you feel you're worthless or that you want to even think about taking your life, because it's not worth it. And the people that are sending you these messages are cowards, and they're unhappy with themselves, and they try to target someone else to make themselves feel better. It has nothing to do with you personally, because I can tell you now, whether I've met you or not, you're an amazing human being, you're an awesome person, and I don't care what anybody says to you, I don't care what messages you're getting via the internet, you are a beautiful individual, and you have a purpose here on life. Like, you have a very unique purpose, and the only person that can fulfill what God put you here to do is you. So don't let anybody take that away from you. Don't let anybody bring you down. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not loved. Even if you feel you're not loved, I love you. So tell your friends, Destinee Milian said she loves me. The best thing you can do is try to find someone you can talk to. If you don't have anybody to talk to, you can email me personally and I'll talk to you. I will try to bring you up as much as possible when you're down. This subject is so touchy to me because people really aren't aware of how big of an effect cyberbullying and being bullied at school has on these young souls. Like, people aren't aware, or it just doesn't click. They're too busy with their own lives. But there is a girl, her name is Megan Myers, and I will also be sponsoring the Megan Myers Foundation. So anybody that wants to be a part of that, it's a great cause, and we're saving lives here. If I save one life, my mission is complete. I hope to save more than that, and I hope to give courage and speak to these young children about not bullying people and how to deal with bullying if you are being bullied. Megan Myers was a 14-year-old girl who was very cruelly cyberbullied. It's really a sick story, and if you want further information on it, I really think you should Google Megan Myers and the Megan Myers Foundation. After being bullied for some time, Megan just couldn't take it anymore. And I don't know if her parents was aware she was being bullied, or if it was just sort of Megan was trying to handle things herself and didn't want to go to her parents. But Megan hung herself a few weeks before, I believe, her 15th birthday, because somebody told her she was worthless. And Megan felt so down that she killed herself. Megan's story stuck out because her family started the Megan Myers Foundation, but Megan is not the only student, the only young child that has so much life to live that ended their lives. There was a girl named Phoebe who killed herself also via pills because she was being bullied at school. She would come home from school, sign online, and then she would be again bullied online. And sadly, she killed herself also. A lot of kids that are the target of cyberbullying are gay transgenders, which I feel it's already hard enough on them trying to be accepted, that being bullied at school and then coming home, signing on your computer, and you're being bullied again because you're who you are and you're being who you are, I think that is wrong. I think it takes a lot of courage to admit being gay, transgender, whatever, and I think people in the world are really cruel. I feel it's sad when it happens to adults, but adults have more practice and more experience and more understanding of why people are this way, that they can cope with it a little better. I feel these students, they can't cope with it, not on their own. They really need our help. They need help from principals, teachers, friends, family, strangers. Anybody can help. Even if you just smile at somebody, you never know how effective that one smile can be. I want to know. I'm not a parent, so I'm not gonna knock anybody's parenting. But if your child is a bully, you should sit down and talk to your children about not being bullies, not making people feel worthless. Monitor what your kids are doing on the internet. Monitor what they're doing in school. Because if they're making somebody else feel worthless, a lot of that has to do with maybe what they hear or see at home, or maybe they're seeking attention. Whatever the case may be involved in what your child does, because you don't want to be the reason, or you don't want your child more so to be the reason that another child ends their life, and vice versa. You don't want that on anybody's family. You don't want to be the reason somebody ends their life. You don't want your child to be the reason a little girl hung herself in her bedroom because she was being constantly teased by your child. So, on top of talking to your children about drugs and sex and gangs, talk to them about not bullying people. And more so, if your child is being bullied, talk to them about how much you love them. Talk to them about why these people may be bullying them, because they feel like they're cowards for one, and they feel little about themselves. And just let your child know that it's only temporary, and go to the school principal if you have to. All that, don't snitch, no. We're saving lives here. If you're being bullied, it's okay to go talk to somebody. Don't ever allow somebody to bully you to the point where you want to end your life, because it is not worth it. It's not worth it. You are put here for a reason, and the reason that you're put here is not to end your life because somebody else is telling you should do that. Like I said, if you're a victim of cyberbullying or being bullied at school, you can talk to me. I will talk back because I want to help you. I'm tired of reading and seeing on the news that somebody, a youth, has killed themselves because of another human being making that person feel useless. And I'm tired of them feeling like they don't have anybody to talk to. You may not know me, you may not trust me, whatever the case may be, but I'm here to listen to you. And I've been in your shoes, okay? I've felt so low about myself because of what other people said and because of messages that I got, that I didn't think I could take it anymore either. I've been there. And I feel that just talking to someone will help you. What else did I want to say? Anyways, that's basically what I wanted to say. Cyberbullying has a large effect on our youth. And children, teenagers, adolescents are actually ending their lives because other children, teenagers, and adolescents are torturing them to the point where they feel worthless. Not only do they not want to go to school, they don't want to live. And that's a problem. It's a problem for me, and I want to help. And I'm sure a lot of you watching this video will want to help as well. So you can visit cyberbullying.org. You can visit the Megan Meyer Foundation, and you can email me. If you need to talk to me, email me. If you're being victimized, email me. If you're being the person that's bullying people, email me. Tell me why you feel so bad about yourself that you want to torture somebody else. And maybe I can help you too. If you just want to do a good deed, talk to someone. Talk to your kids. Make sure your kids aren't being victimized, and make sure your kids aren't the ones being the bullies. You can email me at Destinee Milian @yahoo.com. That's DESTINEEMILIAN @yahoo.com. I'm just here to help, but I wanted people to be aware. Like I said, I'm just here to help, and I really want people to be aware of how big of an effect cyberbullying and bullying has on our youth. It's time to help our youth. I'll be going around to schools talking to people. I'll talk to bullies too and tell them the long-term effect that their bullying has on somebody else. I don't want to see any more stories like the Megan Myers. There's thousands. You can pull them up on the internet. Thousands of stories of kids being bullied right now and attempting or succeeding in committing suicide. So, that was my public service announcement. I'm sorry it wasn't as professional as it could be, but it was a very important topic, and I wanted to talk about it right now. I did not want to wait. So right now, go talk to your kids. Find out if they're being bullied. Find out if they're bullying. Look at the Megan Meyer Foundation. Read her story. Go to cyberbullying.org. This is a very serious subject, and I want you all to take it as serious as I'm taking it. If you want me to come to your school and talk to the kids, I'm more than welcome to do so. You can just email me at destineemilian@yahoo.com. Reach out to me on Twitter. I'm going to end this with just letting you know that every one of you, you're beautiful, and you have a purpose. And I just want you to smile and look yourself every day in the mirror and tell yourself just how beautiful you are. If you feel lost and alone, you feel like nobody loves you, that's not true. Because I love you. So just remember that. Okay?